which we are going to see is about the most popular framework, which is React, which we all know. The first framework which we are going to see is React. So it is developed and managed by the Facebook, and the main advantage of React is comparing to other framework, it is easy to learn and it uses the virtual DOM. So the pages which we are using will be very faster, and it can interact with HTML document very easily because of they are using a JSX. And they are having the concept of class component, functional component. So whatever the component style which we want to implement, whether it is hoops concept or normal functional component, all these things we can easily implement it in the React. And also they are using a JSX concept. It is like a JSX coding style. So using this JSX we can inject our HTML into the JavaScript. So this is the reason why this React is very popular, and also good community support. Like whatever the questions or whatever the suggestions we are having, if we want, we can easily ask in the Stack Overflow, and most of the questions already answered by the lots of developers. Okay, this is the reason why React is very popular. And the main advantage of Angular is it uses the TypeScript framework, which means we need to provide appropriate data type for each and every variable. And of course Angular is developed and managed by the Google, and it has a lots of good community support. But the problem with the Angular is for each problem we can have different solutions. Like they have the concept of services and pipes and components, HTML integration, HTTP integration. So like this they have lots of concepts. So learning time will take little more comparing to other frameworks. It takes too much time to learning because it has a lots of concepts to learn. Okay, so this is the reason why most of the people will prefer React. But whatever we are achieving in the React can be achieved in Angular also, or whatever achieved in Angular can be achieved in React also. So it's all depends on the client and the requirement, what type of languages they are using. In terms of implementation, in terms of coding style, both are same, but learning time when it comes to Angular, it takes much more time than the React actually. Okay, and yes, as I told earlier, it is developed and maintained by the Google, so it has a good community support also. And if you have any doubts or anything, we can directly ask in Google. Most of the questions are mentioned by the lots of developers, so it will be available in the Google itself. Okay, so the next library which we are going to see is about the Vue.js. I think currently nowadays most of the people are using Vue.js. Most of the projects also will prefer Vue.js. It is the main advantage of Vue is it is easy to learn, and also it is very small library and also very fast actually. And yes, it is the problem with the Vue is it does not have third-party libraries like Angular or React. Okay, so and as we know, it is developed by an individual, and still now it is developed and maintained by the small developers community. It does not have any proper powerful business behind it. Like React, it is developed and managed by the Facebook, and Angular is developed by and managed by the Google. But when it comes to Vue, I don't think so there is a proper business behind it, as I have just read it in a lot of article as well. But it may be like in future some of the organizations or some of the business will take care of this Vue in terms of supporting the project. Okay, so this is, but nowadays as far as I know, most of the projects will prefer to Vue. I don't know why, but still I think last two projects which I have worked, they are using Vue predominantly. Okay, then the next one is about the jQuery. So jQuery is a very older library. I think it's I have started my college on 2008 or 9. That time itself the jQuery was a bit popular. But it is again, it's not a framework, it is a library. But the problem is there is a lots of boilerplate code. So if you want to implement some solution, then it can be implemented in lots of ways, but it should not have a proper structure. Like if it goes to Angular, we should follow the structure, but when it comes to jQuery, that does not have the proper structure. Okay, so which means each developer can write their own style of code in terms of project. So when new people come to the project, it is not easy thing to follow the same structure because of the jQuery implementation, if we just only using a jQuery library. But still most of the older projects using jQuery because they cannot able to migrate because of their timing and also the resources. But as far as I know, most of the new projects which started from the scratch, they will not prefer jQuery, or otherwise they will use it along with the React or Angular, but which is not a proper one. But still some of the clients, they will prefer to use jQuery along with the React and Angular also. It is also possible. in case if you are working in a very older projects, or if you are going to work in a older projects, the best way is to learn jQuery, because they might use jQuery also. The main advantage of jQuery is when the JavaScript came into the picture in the web development, there's a lot of code we need to write. For example, if we want to retrieve the element, we need to write document.getElement by id. But if you use a jQuery like $id, then we can easily retrieve the element. So during that time it was very popular, but as of now we are having Angular React where we can bind the data but by using a simple curly braces. Okay, so nowadays I don't think so jQuery has popular, but still some of the older projects will prefer to use jQuery as their previous code was written in the jQuery itself. Okay, and yes, so DOM handling and DOM events are very easy in jQuery. I think that can be done in Angular React also, but still when it comes to core JavaScript, handling the events are very easy in jQuery actually. Okay, so now let's come to the conclusion. So which framework we can learn, it is up to you, but as far as I know, I am working on both React and Angular. So as I told, that Angular will take some more time to learn, but when you learn Angular, it will be easy for you to learn React also. So my suggestion is always go with the two frameworks. I am not saying this is the only framework, but as far as I know, I am telling like you can learn both React and Angular. So if you are good in React and Angular, Vue will not take that much time. But whatever it may be, React, Angular or Vue or jQuery, the first thing is JavaScript. If you are good in JavaScript concept like array and HTTP integration, REST API integration, HTTP methods, local storage, session storage, JSON, if you are good at all these things, these are all the concepts of JavaScript. So when you are good in all these concepts, then it will be very easy for you to understand Angular or React. Without knowing JavaScript, if you directly get into the React or Angular, you might know something, but that will not fulfill your knowledge. Okay? So best way is first get the proper knowledge in JavaScript, then try to go with the Angular or React.